Hello everybody, this is Spear Jester with another cast. Now thank you for joining me on my channel, really appreciate it. I know some of you have commented on my mic before. I promise I'm going to get that fixed today. I've adjusted as many settings as I can. I'm using my computer mic and it's just not working out. I think my mic still has pretty poor quality. So I'm going to try to buy a mic or some sort of headset from the store today, but as of right now I'm kind of trapped. I don't feel like laddering, so I decided to cast a couple more games with this mic. Now, and this match is between the Road Protoss player Complexity RSVP spawning as the obviously the red Protoss on the bottom left, and on the top right is iSTop. RSVP is a Grandmaster player, number 22 in the region, 106 in the world, and iSTop, I believe, is just a master player from what I've managed to look up on the internet. Now, this is Tall Dream, so a very huge map. I'm actually not quite sure what race is supposed to favor. Blizzard's been decent on getting more balanced maps, like you saw changes like from Lost Temple to Shattered Temple, that kind of thing. But I'm not quite sure who's supposed to favor. I mean, obviously it's not supposed to favor anyone, but when you play the game, you can obviously tell who's it favors. Now this is a best of 3 matchup. Complexity RSVP taking the first win, so this is the second match, and hopefully iSTop can make a comeback here. iSTop didn't play too bad last game. I think loss was a few bad decisions on his part, and it's a real shame because he started off well, but he just couldn't follow through. But as we can see here, RSVP was able to take that first win, open it up again with a fast forward spin, so he's definitely going to take his second here soon. iSTop opening pull first as always, and we should be seeing the expansion going down here soon. And once he gets around to scouting this, but I'm not quite sure that he found RSVP quite yet, he's probably going to be taking a fast third, definitely. And RSVP is more than likely going to try to just macro up. It appears that he's a very macro heavy player. I've not seen him before today, but I'm really impressed so far, I will say that. RSVP being constantly annoying with the probe there, delaying the expansion, but with Zerglings out, which is the reason why Top got the pull first. He will begin that natural. Now the pull first is very safe against Protoss and Terran players, especially since in recent times Protoss and Terrans like to try to delay that expansion, where if it's just sitting a worker there, or send down a pylon, or Terrans in some cases laying down the engineering bay, which has the most health for a structure that early in the game. Second is coming down, and this wall off will look pretty good here in a second. Now looking over here at just about the 5-minute mark, Top is just slightly ahead, but RSVP, especially when he gets this other up and running, you'll see it's going to jump ahead. And although RSVP lagged behind a few times, he was ahead most of the game in the worker count. And honestly, it's the macro game that's going to win you. It's going to really win you the game, especially if you're in diamond or below. Macro is definitely way more important than micro. Now, microing could save you, but if you had to choose between either or, definitely choose to control your army. If you have trouble multitasking, as it were, but it's your macro game that's going to get you those wins, and a smart decision making. Top. All good for that first 15 minutes, just fell apart in that last 10 minutes of gameplay. And while Mass Roaches does sometimes win the game, it's not always the smartest thing. But here we see here, Top being very cautious of this probe. Doesn't want to get any sort of a disadvantage by like a proxy pylon, maybe even lost my trail of thought, I'm not gonna lie. But as we can see here, top is going for that third, and I believe RSVP was able to scout that. Yep, just barely. Now we are seeing a 3-gate Stargate. It looks like he will be getting a couple of ward raids out here to harass, which ward raids this early in the game. Yes, a queen or two to take on a single ward ray, but it's still very annoying to have to deal with. And with how far spread that his queens are, he's probably gonna lose queen, maybe an overlord here and there. With no Evo chamber, just Evo chamber's there, but there's no spore crawlers. Here we see a common response from Protoss players who force fastest mans, grabbing just a handful, just 3 zealots. As you can see here, is the 9s is mining time on the third, and really hitting this third pretty hard. Now RSVP is going to keep trying to whittle down the health there. And as you can see, he's warped in even more zealots, and this is really actually going to hurt top and even the playing field for RSVP. Roach is just not doing enough damage. They're caught in the crosshairs. Oh man, Broodlings actually do a surprising amount of damage, especially since they have such a fast DPS. But as you can see here, the third just went down. And even if the third didn't go down from the zealots, here we have the board raid that would have been able to easily deny that. Now top is going to be responding by massing up some Zerglings to get rid of this, and some Roaches to effectively handle the zealots. And yeah, again, we see our top get that map control, grabbing that vision from the towers, and but we need to see how well he handles this harassment. He's already lost an expansion there. He might possibly try going for this expansion over here. But I believe RSVP here has the real map control. Void raids aren't too slow. They're not the fastest, but they aren't too slow either. And with no anti-air on the ground for top, or at the very least no mobile anti-air, I'm not sure if he's laid down any spore crawlers, he's not going to be able to deal with this void ray. But he is going to go for that third again, reestablishing a different spot, and he did get another queen out. Perhaps to battle off that board ray, should that board ray come creeping around again. One thing that I like about top so far that I'd like to hopefully see from my peers, and if you're watching, you know who I'm talking about, it's more creep spreads, 3 vision. It gets your ground forces around so much faster. Gotta remember that Zerg moved faster on creep, and here we see that the third went down there. I'm not quite sure if it was what exactly happened there. I wasn't paying attention. My apologies for not catching that. I'll be sure to pay attention to the main map a lot better, but probably because it's war race, there was creep there, so that hatchery definitely went down. But as we see here, he did break down the rocks, and he will be grabbing the third there. Trying to avoid it because at least Zerg-wise, it's not, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could build a bunch of spine crawlers, but it's not ideal because you want to get that, you do want to get that drone count. When you're spending money on spine crawlers, it's just not working out. Now, I don't know what quite happened there with only 1 Hydra. Somehow I thought top thought maybe just 1 Hydra would just Super Commando, Rambo Hydra, Rambo Lisk. But that was a very smart. I'm really glad that he put away instead of trying to engage that. Because what we saw last game is that he was making poor decisions in his engagements. He was essentially just throwing his roaches in there. And like I said before, sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't. I mean, numbers aren't going to mean anything if RSVP is going to force field them in half. It's not going to mean anything if RSVP manages to position his units in such a way where he has the tactical advantage, i.e. via ramps and choke points. But like I said, Top isn't that horrible of a player. Just lost out because of some poor decisions. So I'm not gonna keep trash talking him. I'm not really trying to trash talk him. I'm just pointing out that he definitely could have done better. This engagement now, as we can see here, he's running in with quite a sizable force, a very healthy unit composition, and I think he's going to be able to definitely open up for this could possibly end the game at the momentum that he's moving. Now, RSVP did go with a Zealot foray. It's not too bad, and we do have one of those are coming out to hard counter the roaches. So we can see here we got high Templars, which are going to really damage the Zergling and Hydralis. Charge slots have to be careful dealing with those Zerglings. There aren't too many of them, but still, if they get the full surround, while it might not necessarily be over, it's going to favor the Zerg. The Zerg's going to be able to do some damage. Now the storms are being laid on between the Void Rays and the storms. RSVPs actually should be able to hold this back. At this point, Roaches are definitely going to leave. Yes, RSVP lost quite a bit there. He lost his expansion. But hey, guess what? He has the expansion up here. It's not running at full speed just yet, but it's not going to be long. Top coming out with even more Hydralis, but those are just getting chewed down between the Archon and the charge lots. And look at this. I don't know if that was misrouted or what, but that just didn't work out too well. And as you can see, RSVP is just going to shrug that off and retake his natural. I don't think massing Zerglings was the smart idea. I think yeah, he's going to be able to do this run by here. And there's only a couple of cannons, so in terms of that, yeah, sure, it's okay. And he might be looking to try to deny or try to do even more damage to RSVP's economy. I really wish that he just kept running and hit the mineral line, but that's not what we saw here. In the end, he's just going to lose out on these Zerglings. Now he has a smaller number of Zerglings. All RSVP has to do is just pull some probes to help, but doesn't look like he's going to be doing that. So this is very odd. I really felt that if RSVP pushed now, he could have definitely done some damage, even with just a handful of ward rays and charge lots, especially since Top's response was to mass lanes, in which I don't believe he even killed too many workers, if any workers at all, with that run by. So I really don't think that was the smart decision. I think his money was better invested in getting more Hydras and a few more Roaches on the ground. Coming in and over 18 minutes in game, we see that despite all that, RSVP is back ahead of topping out 69 drones right now. And worker supply wise, we can see that RSVP is ahead 151 to 133. Now, if RSVP decides to make a switch to getting Colossi out, these Hydras are not going to do too well. Yes, they're in quite a decent amount of numbers. I think they'd be able to take on a Claw Tiger or two, especially if he spreads them out. But clumped up together like this, they're just going to get eaten alive. And with only +1 Carapace, it's not going to do too well. We do have +2 coming out and the +1 missile attack, so that's going to work out in his advantage. Tech-wise, we see that has upgrade that RSVP has upgraded his attack to +1, so that's actually going to help out as well. Although once the +2 Carapace gets done, it's just not going to be as effective. He's going to need to upgrade again. Now, RSVP does have a very healthy unit composition here. Again, I have to comment on this: Zealots, Immortals, A Sentry, Archons, and High Templar. It's going to eat this largely Hydra composition up. And hopefully these Hydras don't get intercepted as they try to hit this third. Alright, now this is what I was talking about. Top, instead of in the last match, Top just kind of threw his roaches in. As you can see here, he did withdraw enough to regroup. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I don't know if he's trying to supply block his enemy, but I'm not quite sure that should be his real target, especially since there's High Templar on the field and their storms do so much damage to light units. As you can see here, it's really a wasted effort to try to take down so many pylons. It's only a couple hundred minerals, and in exchange for your army, that's not really very cost effective. So it looks like RSVP here is gonna try to push out, do some damage himself. Economy wise, Top is doing decent. It looks like he's doing well, but really he's just plainly floating. Once he gets his numbers back up, you'll see that it's not going to be, it's more likely going to be enough, but it's not going to be in large numbers, and he's going to take quite a bit of damage himself. He's not going to be able to appropriately counter, even if he does fend this off. Here's the forces here, and I'm looking at the drone count again at about 22 minutes. RSVP is just astronomically ahead of Top, 90-67. So like I said, it looked like Top's economy was quite up there, but he was just floating. He doesn't really have the economy to fend this off and still be able to counterattack. Now with this retreat here, Storm should be coming down here soon, and that's what's really going to even the playing field, softening up these units. Oh, well, it looks like I was wrong. It looks like Top's going to be able to trap RSVP here now. His warriors are going to be able to get away, but the Immortals are just going to have to stay in there and fight and try to do as much damage as they can. It's very unfortunate for RSVP, but this Roach Hydra composition ended up working out, and RSVP was not able to fend that off or even make a tactical retreat as he was cornered. Now, again, against my better judgment, Top is does have the forces to make a counter, but we'll see what RSVP does here to make a comeback, because RSVP is just so far ahead in the economy. It's a macro game. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to make a comeback. Now he is a little low on gas, but so it's actually pretty hard to tell. Top is gonna, at the very least, be able to take out a base before RSVP gets enough forces out to really do anything about it. And again against my better judgment, RSVP was able to mess up a larger force scanning Dark Templar there, which are going to do quite a bit of damage by themselves, doing I think 45-55 with cluster attack. And top's going to be forced on retreat with no observer. But here comes the observer, so ideally these would get taken up in short order. And here we see top being mopped up, and we see more roaches coming in from top, but RSVP here is in really good order, and as we can see the GG actually came in because top was just not going to be able to get units out fast enough. He's already lost his third up here to Dark Templars, which I do not see. I apologize again for not catching that. Completely mined out his main, and just about mined out over here. So his economy absolutely suffering due to RSVP's containment. He was not going to be able to make a comeback. Yes, he had the minerals to mass up more roaches or hydras, but in the long run, it was good that he GG'd there. So very good play. And top again being a master player, and RSVP being a GM. So the distance between the two leagues is pretty far. I mean, it's not, you know, fucking galaxies away, but I'm just saying the skill level between two players in different leagues is farther than what people might think. Anyways, thank you for joining me. If you have any feedback of any sort, please let me know. I know the audio is a little choppy or a little robotic. I couldn't figure out how to fix that, so my response is to hopefully get a new mic, and ideally that will fix it. Anyways, thank you for joining. Jester out. Keep gaming.